The good, bad and the ugly in Congo. The poorest nation on earth. We are citizens of the Democratic Republic of the Congo. 70% of the population survives on less than $1 a day, which meets the criteria for being classified as living in severe poverty. To confirm, the Democratic Republic of the Congo has the dubious distinction of being one of the poorest nations on the whole earth. However, the country also boasts one of the highest per capita rates of millionaires in the world. There are 6 members of the general public who are each worth $1 million, and who possess empires that were founded on anarchy, lawlessness, and disorder. This is the formula on how to amass $1 million. Prosperous by draining the resources of a nation that is desperately impoverished. This slum can be found in Kinshasa, which is the capital and the most populous city in Congo. The people that live here all have the same goal, which is to become extremely wealthy one day. Yes, it is also the desire of 75% of the population of the public, who are forced to labor in slums similar to this one. Hello and welcome to today's video where we discuss about the good, bad and the ugly in Congo. The poorest nation on earth. But before we dive into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. From this vantage point, one can view a large complex known as Dream World, which consists of residences and villas spread out across an area of 300 hectares, and is exclusive to wealthy people like this individual. Even if you've never listened to any of his work, Fye Pupa is easily the most well-known singer and musician here at the organization. In addition to it, he can dance. At Fye Pupa, Thien is a guitarist, producer, and Unikit advocate has a wealth that is valued at $15 million. His next-door neighbor is an attorney, banker and businessman who sold some of Congo's treasured stuff. Congo is recognized as the biggest nation in Central Africa. Congo is respected by people from other countries. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea is 4 times the size of France, and was ripped apart by a conflict that lasted for over 6 decades, and resulted in the deaths of more than 6 million people in the country while it was still a colony. In 1961, the Prime Minister Lumumba was killed, and in 1965, this guy won the government. Joseph Mobutu was nicknamed the governor of the newspaper Ward as a dictator so dictatorial that he himself changed the name of the Democratic Republic of Congo to Zaire. This happened shortly after the country gained its independence in 1960. In addition to this, he is well known for trying to convince 2 of the best boxers in the history of the sport, namely Muhammad Ali and Georges France, to switch the location of their match. Battles fought all the way from America to Kinshasa. Mobutu awarded each warrior $5 million, which is a pittance when compared to the amount of money that Africa's greatest thief made during his 31 years in power. Mobutu was a dictator in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The Americans did not participate in the assassination of Lumumba, but the Belgians did, contributed to Mobutu's descent to the lowest point in the atmosphere. The majority of the Western funding that was given to Congo was funneled into Mobutu's bank accounts in other countries. For instance, in 1972 and 1972, Mobutu initiated 2 hydropower projects known as Iga 1 and Iga 2, respectively. 1982 with a loan from the World Bank, but after it was finished, it never worked at full intended capacity. This was not an issue, however, since big projects such as the gas dam helped Mobutu make at least $5 billion. In addition to that, he brings a combination with him in order to repay the people of Congo. The amount of the debt is $12 billion. Even though Mobutu died dead in 1997 while he was living in exile, the status of Congo has not much improved as of yet. There are billions of things that need to be constructed, and this presents a chance for some individuals to get wealthy via the operation of the law of the jungle. In terms of the corruption index, the World Transparency Organization placed Congo at position 166 out of 180 nations. During the inquiry into the public finances, we will have to deal with individuals who were born into corruption, had their education on corruption, and now believe corruption to be the norm. Places that are both extremely deep and very high are where demons are housed. As a matter of fact, the World Monetary Fund has provided the Democratic Republic of the Congo with $365 million in order to aid in the battle against the COVID-19 epidemic. On the other hand, the government was only able to publish roughly 40 papers on the website of the Health Ministry in order to clarify the planned use of just $6 million, which means that we do not know what happened to the rest $357 million. Southern Congo DRC had an eruption of a volcano on May 22, 2021. Lava began to flow. The city of Goma, which has a population of 2 million people, is located around 20 kilometers away from the volcano. After the eruption, there was a significant earthquake and aftershocks of a similar magnitude. There were 32 fatalities. There was an evacuation of 400,000 people. 17 settlements were wiped out in the disaster. It is interesting to note that later on, claims appeared claiming that the foundation and the president's wife had improperly taken funds intended for victims of natural disasters. Not only did GU have a high incidence of syphilis discharge, but it also has a history of gifting to other nations, which has earned it a bad reputation. Natural resources exploitation. Congo was a site to exploit natural resources like as rubber, latex, and ivory. More than a century ago while it was still a Belgian colony. And now, after 60 decades of independence in the eastern portion of the nation, it's the minerals. The Great Lakes area is not only one of Africa's most beautiful, but also one of the most hazardous regions on the continent. This region has been plagued by violence for close to 3 decades. In part because cotton is a pricey mineral that is utilized in the production of batteries, cell phones. And about 60% of the world's demand comes from the Congo in mines, where workers have to dig dozens of handicraft tunnels leading underground, using only a plastic flashlight that looks like toy watches worn on their heads to illuminate them. They were never provided with maps or exploration drills of where to dig, and they have to do this using only their bare hands. They made all of their decisions based on their gut feelings. The mining industry in the park is controlled almost entirely by Chinese corporations. Should you be curious as to why? The reason for this is that Beijing has always been quite liberal in providing credit to the public administration and has engaged in the building of many projects that are only cosmetic, such as the People's Palace or the State the Mary Stadium in 2009. In exchange for China's right to extract 6.8 million tons of copper and copper, Congo made a commitment to give China $9 billion, which is more than 3 times the size of the government's annual budget. This money will be used to construct and improve infrastructure, as well as grow the mining sector, 420 tons. Some of the economists working for Congo have determined that China might make anywhere from $14 to $80 billion in profit, thanks to the benefits that are promised by the project. The initiative is nothing more than a sham to conceal the unscrupulous leader's aim to rake in enormous amounts of money by selling national resources at a discount. In any case, after the extraction process at the facility, it is going to be sent to China as one of the destinations. One of the most important phone cobalt suppliers in the world has arrived, having served illustrious clients like Apple for a significant amount of time. In addition to that, Google and Dell are also among its clientele. Microsoft and Tesla are mentioned. On the other hand, the miners are unaware of the part they play in the worldwide supply chain for batteries. They are primarily concerned about whether or not they will have enough to eat today at their place of employment. What about their superior officer? Take this individual, for instance. He has a position in the government. The government has tens of millions of dollars worth of assets, and lives in a mansion that is defended by armed guards. In addition, he acknowledges that as a result of his authority, he now owns a significant number of cobalt mines in addition to coltan and cobalt mines. Congo is a nation that has very rich deposits of resources and minerals, such as gold coins and diamond owing to the subterranean storage. Mineral mining is the primary driver of economic growth in Congo, which is why the country's name means land of the Congolese. Along with it, there has been an increase in class. As I said before, almost 70% of Congo's population lives below the federal poverty line. Yet, in the higher-class capital of Kinshasa, all types of luxury services have sprouted up to fulfill the demands of this group of people. For instance, the price of a cake in this city is approximately $5. despite the fact that I mentioned the former. $1 a day supermarkets where you can find everything sold in Western countries. At prices that are not cheaper because they are imported goods. Sometimes double or triple the price, or luxury restaurants with champagne. People who can come here are only a small part of the population. But such services are still springing up all over the country. $1 a day supermarkets where you can find everything sold in Western countries. At prices that are not cheaper because they are imported goods. Sometimes double or triple the price, or on the other hand. We said before that slums are still home to 75% of the public urban population. The issue is that when they are unable to fulfill their financial wants, they need some help to calm their soul, and from this point on, a character who has been hidden in the shadow of religion suddenly becomes a celebrity by selling miracles to people with excessively large skin. Christianity is practiced by almost half of the population in Congo. Those who do practice it are devout Christians who are loyal to God and, to put it another way, are rather naive. Tens of thousands of people in the capital city of Kinshasa will make their way to the large stadium on a weekly basis on Sunday mornings, notably in Central Africa. But they don't come here to watch a game or attend a concert. Rather, people gather to listen to a guy who sells a drink that can heal epilepsy and cancer and even bring children back from the dead. A short distance from the stadium, he is known as the former Tri Dynasty. The palace of the former Tri Dynasty may be found at this location. His congregation is comprised of 5 million members. When Honda arrived at the stadium, he was greeted by a powerful group from followers, who led him there. He is a sage and he shines here like a light when he speaks. Holy water is not available for purchase openly from the prophet at this location. Rather, it may be purchased covertly from local churches all around the nation. A bottle of water may cost as much as $15, which means that low-income families have little choice but to split one bottle among 2 or even 3 people in order to afford it. Meanwhile, wealthy individuals can walk away with millions of dollars. A water bottle like this one contains a half-liter of liquid, which may or may not include gasoline, lemonade, and a few other completed items, as well as things that cost money. It's simply referred to as Enlightenment D. It is quite unlikely that individuals would pass away in 100 minutes if they consume gasoline since, as shown by a number of studies, the city of Kinshasa is the place where the sickness of the century first appeared, and almost 1 million residents of the Congo are infected with it. The fact that it is worth highlighting that the government does not let Honda sell legal water to him is something that the other half of these individuals have to deal with. Even generating permitted water on an industrial scale is nothing to be surprised about. After all, there are many pathways leading to being an industrialized nation. Being a very wealthy individual in a super poor country is the same as abusing the country and exploiting the people without fear of being punished, because of the protection provided by systemic corruption, which is like a devil kept in a very deep and very dark area. This is because systematic corruption is like a demon kept in a place where there is a lot of darkness. That's all for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you like this video, please subscribe, share it with your friends and give it a like. Your continued viewership is greatly valued. Bye and have a nice day.